Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And this week I'm going to be crocheting a puffy art basket, a mini basket to keep your essentials like your jewelries, like a trinket dish. So it's a puffy art, so you can use this as a Valentine gift. If you want to do a Valentine, you want to make a Valentine gift for anyone, this is a very quick one, very easy. So I'm going to start with a magic circle. I'm going to chain one, and in the magic circle I'm going to make 9 half double crochets. 9 half double crochets. So that's the first half double crochet. That's the second half double crochet. So I'm going to do this for 9 times, and I'm going to meet you at the end. So this is the end of the round 1. This is the end. So we have 9 double crochets. I'm going to slip stitch into the first double crochet and close the magic ring. For the round 2, I'm going to chain 1, and into every stitch I'm going to do 2 half double crochet into every stitch. This is really simple, so start with a 2 half double crochet into every stitch. At the end, we should have a total of 18 half double crochet stitches. This is the end of round 2. I'm going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet. Moving on to round 3, I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to do an increase in the second stitch. So I'm going to go into the first stitch, do 1 half double crochet, into the next 2 half double crochet, back into that same stitch, 2 half double crochet, again to the next stitch, 1 half double crochet, into the next 2 half double crochet. So we increase in the second stitch. We will increase on the second stitch. So it's 1 half double crochet, in the next stitch 2 half double crochet together. I'm at the end, so I'm doing my last half double crochet. You should always end with 1 half double crochet. We started with 1, we end with 1, then we do a slip stitch. Moving on to round 3, I'm going to do chain 1 and 1 double crochet into the first stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and 2 double crochets into the next stitch. That means we'll increase on the 3rd stitch. On the 3rd stitch, we put 2 double crochets together into 1 stitch. It's really simple. So it's 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next 2 half double crochets together. To end round 3, I'm going to do a slip stitch. Moving on to round 4, I'm going to chain 1 and increase on the 3rd stitch. I'm going to increase on the 4th stitch. Chain 1 double crochet in 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. We have 3 stitches with 1 half double crochet, and on the 4th stitch we do 2 half double crochets together. one half double crochet into the next stitch, one half double crochet, another one half double crochet. Now into the next stitch we do 2 half double crochets together, and this is really simple. I'm going to meet you at the hand. I did my slip stitch, and now moving on to the puff stitch. So I'm just going to do a chain 1, and to do the puff stitch I'm just going to turn my work inside out. So I'm going to start working outside now, so no more working in the circles. So we're going to start with a puff stitch. So into the first stitch I go in there and pull up a loop, a yarn over, go back into that same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go back into the same stitch and pull up another loop. I'm going to pull through everything. Chain 1, yarn over, go into the same stitch, back into the same stitch where I did the puff stitch. Now back there, pull up a loop, pull up a loop, yarn over. We're going to do the pulling up of a loop and everything yarning over 3 times and pull through, but do not chain 1. Do not chain 1. So now we're just going to skip 2 and go into the next. I'm going to repeat this again to be clear. I'm going to skip 2 stitches, go into the next stitch. After you skip 2 stitches, you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop. That is a puff stitch. We're going to repeat that, the pulling up of a loop and yarning over 3 times, and we should have a total of 8 loops on our hooks. Then we chain 1. Now back again into the same stitch, we're going to repeat the puff stitch again. Back into the same stitch, we'll pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times to make a puff stitch. I'm going to yarn over everything. I'm not going to chain 1. I'm going to yarn over, skip 2 stitches, go into the next and do another 2 puff stitches in 1 stitch. So it's going to be 1 puff stitch, chain 1, again 1 puff stitch into the same stitch. You're not going to chain 1, you're going to yarn over, skip 2 stitches and go and make another 2 puff stitches in the same stitch. So we're just going to keep repeating this. This is what we are just going to be doing now till we get to the end. So I'm done with the stitch here. I'm doing my last puff stitch for this round. So going back again to do the last puff stitch. I'm going to pull through all the stitch. Now normally we should not chain 1, so what I'm going to do is slip stitch. So I'm going to go into in between the chain 1 space from the puff stitch. I'm going to do a slip stitch right there in between the chain 1 space. And now I'm going to go for the next round for the puff stitch. The second round of the puff stitch, I'm going to chain 1. And now I'm going to start working in between the chain 1 space, doing a puff stitch in the chain 1 space from the previous row. So the chain 1 space in between the puff stitches from the previous row, where we are going to be making puff stitches. And I'm using my hands here to flatten the basket. So to start the puff stitch, I'm going to go into the chain 1 space from the previous row in between the puff stitches and do a puff stitch. You know, we'll do that for 3 times and we chain 1 like we did the previous time on the previous row. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop 3 times, and make sure your loops, they are even and they are not too tight and they are not too loose. Now I go into the chain 1 space again from the previous row and do the puff stitch. And do not forget that when you do the second puff stitch in the same stitch, you do not chain 1. You just pull through. Yes, we're going to chain 1 now. I'm going to show you that one more time. What I'm trying to say is, once you go into the same space, I'm doing my second puff stitch now for this for the same stitch. You're not going to chain 1. Please do not forget that you must not chain 1. You must just yarn over and continue to the next to do the next stitch. So I'm just going to meet you at the end. I'm at the end here. I've done my slip stitch into the chain 1 space. Just do your slip stitch into the chain 1 space where you started, and that is really simple. So I'm just going to cut off my yarn here and add another color. To insert another color, I'm just going to start in the chain 1 space from the previous row. I'm going to do a slip knot on my hook to insert the new color now. I will go into the chain 1 space in between the puff stitches. I'm going there and pulling my yarn through that hook, through my hook, and do a chain 1 to start. And I'm going to just start my puff stitches as I would normally, to yarn over, go into that same space and do the puff stitches. It's the number 1 puff stitch, pull through, chain 1, into the same space, another puff stitch, sorry, I mixed that one up. I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to carry the extra yarns along, so to hide the tails of this yarn, and so I do not have to do a lot of weaving in. So into the next space, the puff stitch. So we're just going to continue to do the puff stitches until we get to the end. I'll meet you at the end of this round. I'm at the end now of this. This is the 3rd round. So normally I should do a slip stitch there in between the chain 1 space from the previous row. So we have 3 rows of the puff stitches. So I'm going to do 1 more row of the puff stitch and end this. So starting again with a chain 1 and a puff stitch. So this is the 4th round of the puff stitch, and this will be the hand, and this will be the second to the hand. Now I'm on the last puff stitch. So now I'm supposed to do a slip stitch in between the chain one, but no, I won't do that. I'm going to do a slip stitch right on top of the right on top of the puff stitch. I'm going to do a slip stitch right on top of the puff stitch. And that is the end of the puff stitch round. So we have 4 rows and the basket is coming well together. To end this round, I'm going to do a slip stitch right on top of every stitch. So you can put that's the first slip stitch. You can put a stitch marker so you can know where you started. So that would be a slip stitch on each stitch. So I'm going to slip stitch around, and I'm going to meet you at the end. Now, do my last slip stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off. I'm going to weave in this tail afterwards. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I hope the tutorial is clear enough. Please leave a comment in the comment section if you have any question or anything you wanted, any suggestion. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial so much. This basket is so cute. You can keep your jewelries and little essentials inside. This is a great gift for Valentine as well, since it's a puffy art shape. So thank you for watching this video. Give this video a big thumbs up, like and share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.